crack. Alright. Yeah. Sheesh. Sheesh. Arriba. Okay, yeah.
Alright, what's good, y'all? We back with Grease Battle TV. We got another episode of GD Talks. We have a special guest, Brenton Saylor, CEO of Mile High Minute. And we're going to get down to it all in this interview today, man. So, yeah, tell us about your childhood, bro. Where you from? Grow up.
So, I'm originally born in Fort Collins. I lived there for like 3 years. I don't really remember it, to be honest, because I was so young. But we moved to Nevada for a year, Wyoming for like 2 years. Then I moved to like Portland when I was like 8. And I've been in like the Denver area ever since. Like, really spent most of my like school years, like high school and shit like that, in Arvada and Portland. And then all over though, Wheat Ridge, Broomfield, Westminster. Really all over up there, and then I moved to Denver 2 years ago.
How do you like it out here?
I like it, honestly. It's cool. Like, I like being closer to the city and having more shit to do. I don't know. I mean, like, it's all the same shit in a way. I guess there's more traffic and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So, basically, I want to ask you, what really inspired you to even create Mile High Minute? I did some research on you. I saw that before, like, you were doing like the music stuff.
Yeah.
You were like basically vlogging thrift shopping.
Yeah.
So like, how'd you get into that transition? What inspired you?
So, when I was young, my mom used to take me to thrift stores all the time. And, like, we used to she used to always like cop these like Celtics jerseys or like just teams I didn't like. So I was like, the Lakers fan.
Right.
So I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, I'm not gonna like that. I don't like that team. And I was like, wait, what if I want to create an eBay account and, you know what I'm saying, start flipping clothes online. So I started thrifting, really learned that from my mom, started flipping clothes and stuff like that. Etsy, Poshmark, Depop, like everywhere, Instagram, Snapchat, and then I don't know, I was like 3 years into it. That was kind of what I was doing in high school and then like college a little bit. And then I started noticing like rappers would hit me up for like merch and shit, like Beaches Gear or whatever.
Right.
You started like local rappers up north, like shout out Red Steves and like Young Fiji. Tri-City Chino or like that.
Okay.
And then I was kind of like already linking up with some rappers, you know what I'm saying, and merch. And I was already a huge fan of like No Joker, like Say Cheese, you know what I'm saying, all the blogs and shit, the big ones that I say. And I was like, if I start doing interviews, you know what I'm saying, bring it to Colorado, because like over the years I realized there were some Colorado interviews. But there's like out of state people doing it, or like people do like 3 interviews and then, you know what I'm saying?
Like, really taking it serious.
Yeah. So I was like, damn, I might as well just like, I see the niche for it, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so much talent out here. Everyone wants to like rap, which is cool, but I was like, there's so much talent. Like, there's gotta be a demand for like bloggers or like interviews, you know what I'm saying? So I was in my room, wrote down an idea, told a couple homies, and ran with it ever since.
Okay. So would you say you've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, it was like my 4-year anniversary. The anniversary of like March 30th, so just over 4 years.
So like in your journey, like from, you know, year 1 and now, like what are some of the struggles, like, you know what I'm saying, that you face from? I know you've grown tremendously, you know what I'm saying, throughout these 4 years. So like, what was it like in the beginning? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at the beginning, like, to be honest, bro, like, shit, I was sleeping in my car, bro. I was sleeping on my homie's couch, you know what I'm saying? And just trying to find a way. Like, I always knew I had it in me, like, I want to be an entrepreneur. Right. But like, the money wasn't always there, you know what I'm saying? My my mom kind of got kicked out of our apartment from mom, and she, had to go up to like Wyoming and stuff, and my dad was kind of out of the picture, definitely financially. So it was like a struggle. So those were some of the struggles at the beginning of my army. It was like, how am I gonna do this without making money? Because when you first start,
Exactly.
I'm not making no money off it. Then like I ran into some cool people who definitely like helped me get started, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Like homies and shit. My bad, I feel like I'm kind of going on a tangent. But as far as like obstacles or like struggles, I would say like definitely just, like I said, financially at first, figuring out a way to do it while I'm not really making money. Living a normal life. But then as time went on and like the page grew, the struggle was kind of shifting from like financial struggle to more of like a mental struggle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people, they don't really know you. They like assume things about you. You know what I'm saying? They just talk. Like, but I kind of learned and realized like if I'm gonna put my business out there, like not everyone's gonna like it, and everyone they have their own opinions. So just like when I first started getting hate, it was kind of like, man, I don't know if I can handle it. But then I realized like I'm putting out rap lists. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm giving my opinion, so people can have their own opinions, and I kind of stopped taking it personally.
Right, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Plus, if you're like, you're too worried about what people think, it kind of suppresses you. You can't even really do your job fully.
No, that's fair. Because there were times I remember when like I thought like I think my second rap list, because the first one don't really care. It's a weird story. The second one though started building some buzz. I saw all over Facebook, everyone was talking spicy. Mm-hmm. And like usually like it was cool, but there was a couple in there. And I was like, damn, people assuming shit about me, like saying the crazy shit about me that is like some people even be capping, like just saying the most crazy shit that don't even make sense. Like I ain't never even heard of it. So like I go to the mountains and just chill out for a little bit and just recollect myself and relax.
You think those people are mainly like people who are actually really doing this shit? Or are those just people who really dibble dabble and they just always have an opinion on social media? Because I know there's a difference. There's some people who really take music seriously. They drop it consistently. And there's some people you might see here and there, but they always have an opinion about everything that's going on.
I feel like at first it was usually people out, like you said, they weren't really like working or had like a spot in the scene, I guess, out here, for like better terms. But I don't know, it's all kinds of people. Those people used to grow up with, you know what I'm saying? I didn't believe you or put on these people. There's people that, like you said, there have been, a couple times where it's like a well-known artist who actually works hard, But usually, that don't happen too often. It's usually people that I feel like, assume things about you because they don't know you, or like maybe a little everyday type thing, Right. I always just, honestly, bro, I pray for you. Like everyone, bro, I pray obviously for my family and friends, but I pray even for people who live it, felt the type of way on me, just because, like, I just want to send out positive energy, you know what I'm saying?
What's the craziest thing you ever got in your DMs from an angry fan? Angry.
That's a good question. I've never been asked that. Damn. I mean, I remember when I went to Texas a couple years ago, I got like random profiles talking about like, oh, like saying some crazy shit about me, and then like, or like people saying they gonna read my profile, some crazy shit.
Oh, really?
Like, just random, and it'd be like the random kind of like, but usually it's just funny stuff like, whatever, just like.
Does it be random or does it usually come after you drop the controversial content? Like the list or to certain things that would irritate, certain things people feel entitled, like they feel like they need to be heard.
I'd say usually when I drop like a list or like, you know what I'm saying, I post some spicy on Instagram and people start commenting, you feel me? It's usually something like that. But I mean, there's sometimes it's kind of random, I guess, but it didn't really start happening obviously until like, 2-3 years into it and like the platform started doing it.
Right. So, do you think like those negative aspects started coming more as Mile High Minute grew? Like the more people realizing, like, yeah, this is something that people are looking at, something people are focusing on. You know what I'm saying? Like it started to hurt people's feelings more. You know what I'm saying? Like your word mattered more
as the platform grew, man, for sure. Because I mean, when I first started on it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? But as obviously like the platform grows and you start connecting with people out of state and you keep hustling and stuff, like it matters more. And that goes for anyone. So I feel like as you grow as an artist, producer, videographer,
So at this point, would you say you have a passion for music or a passion for podcasting?
I would say I have a passion for business.
Passion for business.
Just as a whole, like I like flipping clothes, real estate. I like that. But I definitely have a passion for rap music, just because like I wouldn't say I would ever become an artist. I don't think I'm good, and I also just that was also part of the reason why I started blogging too, because I almost wanted to be a rapper, but I was like, I can't rap, so like, what if I do something new? That's just talk. But yeah, I'd say I fall in love with the rap music for sure, though, like, just especially growing up, like, listening to, like, Future and shit like that. And then business and, honestly, the city, bro, as a whole, I really love Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's definitely more or less me. I want to see, like, everyone shining.
So, when did you really see like Mile High Minute start growing? When did you really see the followers started progressively just counting up?
I feel like you never really like.
I'm finna get it crackin'. Alright. Yeah. Sheesh. Arriba. Okay, yeah.